guys, what's up? It's John here from Horror Fiend Reviews, and I was talking recently to Hannah Loves Horror, and she'd mentioned recently she had a horror movie tag that she thought I should give a go, so I thought, fuck it, why not? Let's do this. So yeah, without any further ado, let's get into it. So number one, the first horror movie you remember watching. Well, as I mentioned in the last video, the first horror movie that I remember watching was Halloween by John Carpenter in 1978. That was my first horror movie that I'd ever watched. I remember particularly the scene where Michael Myers appears in the when the laundry's hanging out to dry, and it's just kind of floating away, and it just cuts to him slightly, and oh man, that was, for me at the time, that was just one of the most scariest things I'd ever experienced in my life. My first experience with horror, though, or being scared, was when I was a little kid. My mum was a huge fan of the X-Files, so she used to watch it constantly, and she actually had some VHS tapes of some of the episodes, and one of them had Tooms, the shapeshifter, and just those yellow eyes, man, just scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. So yeah, but the first horror movie I remember watching was Halloween. Number two, my favourite horror movie. That's a tricky one. Yeah, that really is. There's just so many good ones, and they're so good for different reasons, which I think is why they're all my favourite. But I mean, some of the classics, Hellraiser, even Hellraiser 2, I loved Hellraiser 2. Some other ones would be Friday the 13th. The first one's probably one up there. Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one, for its scare factor, I mean, it was pretty dark. There was some silly parts to it, but yeah, that was good. Some more recent ones, a movie called Deathgasm, which I know a lot of people know about. Also, there was another movie called The Loved Ones, and I thought that was excellent. I think it's Jackson Rathbone from I think he was in the Twilight movies at one point, one of the later ones. Yeah, that was a pretty amazing movie. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be such a hard question, but yeah, those are some of my favourite horror movies. Next here we've got favourite movie genre. Again, it's also another pretty hard one. I've got a huge thing for slasher movies, and I mean, I don't know if this technically counts as a genre of horror movie, but I love watching true crime documentaries. I don't think there's anything more scary than real life. That's I think that terrifies me most. The fact that these events actually happened, and they're pretty scary to me. So that's a genre I love watching documentaries. I love watching body horror. So you know, like sort of Dave Cronenberg, Videodrome, The Fly, stuff like that. Number four, the what horror movie last scared you? This is kind of embarrassing, but the last horror movie to scare me was Paranormal Activity. Yeah, the reason that scared me was just because of having experience with the paranormal at one point or another. There is actually a video of me somewhere where they actually caught me getting scared to this movie, so I'll try and find that and include it in a video at some point in the future. Ultimate Scream Queen. I mean, it's Jamie Lee Curtis, hands down. I don't think there's another answer for that. I mean, if you want to include some of the newer generations, you know, like Danielle Harris. I mean, PJ Souls. She's been in a lot of great horror movies. But yeah, Jamie Lee Curtis. She's an OG. What concept would you like to see in a horror movie? This one was kind of difficult for me to answer, but one of the main concepts I like to see in horror movies is a strong female lead character that is it's not tarred with a brush of being like a bimbo or just gets her tits out for the guys pretty much. And a great example of this would be Neve Campbell, Sidney Prescott in the Scream series. She's like the epitome of strong female leads. I mean, even as well, Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween, she was great in that as a strong female lead. So I mean, that's something that I really enjoy seeing, especially in the any modern day horror movies. I mean, even in the Evil Dead remake where they had like essentially like a female Ash, that was really cool to see. I mean, I really like that. I really like the remake actually. Favorite on-screen kill. So I mean, this is another one that could be anything, but my personal favorite, I've got two favorite on-screen kills, and one I don't even know if it technically counts as a kill, but I just love it anyway because it's just so funny. But the first one, my first favorite, is in Jason Takes Manhattan, Friday the 13th Part 8, when the punk girl JJ is she's jamming out in the boiler room to with her pink flying V guitar, and Jason comes up behind her and just dishes her in the head with a flying V, and just that's one of my favorites. The other one, I don't know if this technically counts as a kill or not, but just because I saw it recently and it made me laugh so much, is in Wishmaster 2, where the Jinn is in the prison, and he asks this guy what does he wish for, and he wishes that his lawyer would go fuck himself. So he then gets taken into a room where his lawyer is, and suddenly he starts to sort of jolt and feel weird, and his legs bend backwards, and the Jinn makes him fuck himself. But I laughed my fucking ass off of that. I mean, that's the dumbest thing that I've ever seen in my entire life, but yeah, I loved it. And then some of the kills in Deathgasm, where they're like the slow-mo scene where they're killing his aunt and uncle with sex toys. Yeah, they're super funny too. Number 8, my favourite horror movie franchise. I mean, there's been really, really great franchises over the years. My favourite would probably be the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I just think the character of Freddy Krueger, as the franchise progressed, just got so much stronger and just so funny and so just relatable. Well, I guess not relatable, but I mean, they were making kids' pajamas with Freddy Krueger on them, and he's a child molester. So I mean, that just goes to show that they did something right. And last but not least, my favourite horror movie director. I've got two that I would class as my favourites. One is John Carpenter. Just his ingenuity, the fact that he made Halloween on such a short budget. He is so just efficient with his movies, and also the fact that he scores his own movies too. I mean, as a musician myself, and I know how hard it is to be creative musically and directorial. It's just amazing. I've got so much respect for that. And another one is Eli Roth from obviously from Hostel, Green Inferno. He's in a league of his own, man. He's the new age horror movie king. I mean, he's awesome. I love his work. Have done. I mean, I even loved his role in Inglourious Basterds as the Bear Jew. He was awesome. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the horror movie tag. Let me know what you think about it in the comments section. Also check out Hannah Loves Horror. I'll leave her channel in the description as well. But yeah, thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys have a good night.